Welcome back to part 3 of our interview with David Feinman, where he tells us how to make your video go viral, as well as the secret to a successful partnership. Keep it right here. Part 3 is up next.
Welcome to this edition of Peak Performers Podcast
with your host, Thor Conklin.
Thor will be sharing the necessary tools, strategies, and psychology you'll need to become a peak performer in any area of your life or business.
Thor Conklin here. We give you the tricks, the tips, the tools, the strategy, the technology, and the psychology peak performers use in order to get more done and execute at the highest level. If you know what to do but struggle with getting it all done, or simply want to raise your game to the next level, this podcast is for you. Sit back and enjoy. What prompted you to start the business in the first place?
Yeah, it's a good question. So I co-founded it with my business partner, Zach Medina.
How's that working out?
It's amazing. We have a great partnership.
That's good. That's good. I'm going to ask you questions about why it's a great partnership after, but continue.
I had started a company prior to this called the Zombie Run. It was a nationally touring 5K race. We toured in 16 cities around the country. For those of you who don't know about it, we basically had zombies chase after runners wearing flag football belts.
I love that.
So we did that in 16 market. Over 35,000 people did it around the country. And after that, I started getting consulting requests for people that were curious about how I marketed it and how it went viral, how it got on the news in every market we went in. And really the secret to that was in the video and in the way we advertised ourselves. So, not only do we create videos, but we create effective videos. So, Zach and I got together and he had worked at the Zombie Run. We got to get a couple of clients together. In the beginning, it was I think 3 clients to start. And it was just the 2 of us, and we started making these videos. And now I'm proud to say we have over 115 clients. I don't really think we've in the 450 videos we've created. I think we've only ever really messed up 2 of them. We have 448 plus amazing other videos. So it's just kind of built organically from there.
Could the ones that you messed up make a bloopers reel or something?
It's not a bad idea. Maybe I'll do that.
I'm always trying to figure out what can we do with this piece? It was very fascinating. I was looking at a documentary on J.P. Morgan and Thomas Edison and John D. Rockefeller. And when John D. Rockefeller started Standard Oil, the whole reason that they were getting oil out of the ground was for lamps, for kerosene lamps.
Right.
And there was this other thing that they were just throwing out. It was the gasoline. They just had no use for it. So one day he's like, what can we do with this thing that we're just literally just throwing out? And around the same time, the combustion engine was being created. And the whole industry was created off a product that they were literally dumping in the ground. So I'm always, and if you're a business person out there, figure out what else you have. What else are you just not maximizing, monetizing, because that can really be the real business. So I want to ask you a question about partnerships, because not everybody has a great partnership. What is your secret to a successful 2.5-year partnership?
So Zach and I were actually friends first, and we dating back, we actually started. We worked together in high school, worked together in college, and now that we own Viral Ideas, I would say the biggest thing that we do really well is just over communicate everything. And I think about it like this, right? So I have my role, Zach has his role, and we both do it really well. I handle the sales and business development and work with the clients. He handles the production and everything that happens after that. And we very rarely cross over into each other's worlds, and we leave each other alone in each other's worlds, because we know that he's great at that. I'm great at the sales. And even though we could do the other elements of it if the other of us needs it, we very rarely interrupt each other in that. And there's always a constant communication between the 2 of us about any issues, any money issues, any personnel issues. It's always discussed. Nothing's ever covered up. There's never one of us is not trying to hide something from the other ever. So we kind of know everything that's going on, good or bad, within the business. And I think that sets us up to never really have any surprises. And, we always have each other's back too if something does come up. Like, if there's a last minute shoot, me and him we're in it together, right? It's not just like it's all on him. We'll both stay up and we'll both work on it. Or if there's a sale I'm trying to close and, I could use his help with it, he'll work on it with me. So we operate in silos, but at the same time, if we need each other's help, we're there. So I think that's the way we've handled it. And we keep it pretty simple. And, there's a lot of people that think if you have a business partner, you should divide the equity up, 51-49, someone's got to have the control. And I think that's archaic. I think for me, this is an equal partnership, and it's very equal between the two of us. Yes, my title's CEO, he's COO, but it doesn't make a difference. We're co-founders of the business, and we're very equal in that respect. And we've built the business, and we make decisions together. And if we don't agree on something, we keep talking it and debating it until we come up with a consensus. And we've never had to bring in, people say, 50-50 will be deadlocked. There's never a decision that we don't agree on one day, and the next day it's fixed. One of us will either bend and say, okay, you could take this one this time, or you take that one next time, or it's very amicable. So,
And David, how old are you?
25.
All right, so David's 25. I'm 54, so I've had a couple years on David. But I will tell you, if you were listening to this podcast right now, which you are, he has told you something that you can use in any area of your life. If you don't take anything else away from this podcast, take away this. They establish the rules and their roles up front. They stay out of each other's way. They let them do what they're meant to do, and they communicate constantly. I don't care if we're talking about employees, business partners, wife, husband, girlfriend, boyfriend. If you apply those three simple things, life will be very different. Excellent. Excellent.
It's funny you say that. It's amazing. I haven't been able to hold a girlfriend for more than a month. So,
well, because you're not doing those three.
Exactly. I'm not communicating.
Right. That's it. That's all you need is those three. And if you applied that to any relationship, it'll be spectacular because you know up front what the expectations are. This is what I'm going to be doing. This is what I expect. This is what you're going to be doing. This is what I expect. We're going to communicate constantly about it. And I trust you to do your piece. And you trust me to do my piece.
That's I think the biggest thing with Zach and I too. It's a constant. There's always a trust factor, and especially when there's as the dollar figures have grown over the years. It's over the past 2.5 years. It's kind of like if Zach needs to spend money on something, I trust that he needs to spend money on it. If I need to spend money on something, he trusts that I need to spend money on it. It's not like we get into squabbles over, $100 here, $100 there, $500 here. It just doesn't happen. If it needs, something needs to be spent or something needs to be done, it's easier to just kind of let it happen, move on, and then assess it, and then learn from it and evolve from it. Then kind of, getting a huge debate over, should we spend an extra, $70 a month on this software, or, should we spend $300 on this piece of equipment? Let's do it or not do it and deal with the consequences if it goes wrong. And so far it's worked out well.
I love it. So let the audience know how they can get a hold of you.
Yeah. So the best way to get a hold of me. So our main mission of Viral Ideas is to create to inspire. So we kind of all have this shared belief that everyone has the right to be fulfilled. We believe in shared creativity and defining your why through an amazing creative message. So if that sounds appealing to you and our company could be a service to you in creating videos, or even if you just want to talk about really anything, just feel free to reach out to us on our website, viralideasmarketing.com. Just go through the contact form on the site and someone will get it over to me and we can have a conversation.
I just got two more questions to wrap up with. The first is, everybody wants a viral video, right? Everyone's looking for their video to go viral. What are some of the commonalities or the traits that viral videos have?
It's a good question. So I would say, let me just back that up a second before we get into common traits, is first understand what viral means to you. I can't tell you the number of clients that say I want 1 million views on my video, but they're a local service provider that can't even deal with 1 million customers. So you have to understand what viral means to you. Is that 10,000 people within your market? because I could tell you that with some of the local businesses that we work with and not some of the larger ones, if they got 10,000 views on their video, their business is going to bump up 20, 30%. No problem.
Yeah.
And we've seen it a few times. So understanding what that means first. Then second, understanding who the audience is. So if you understand, okay, our audience is, our entire audience is pet owners. Well, I hope and their favorite animals, dogs. Well, I hope you don't make a video about a giraffe, right? And then the third component is, you want to strike some sort of emotion and some sort of emotional chord. And that rings through any video that goes viral. Any video that gets shared, it has to connect with a video on an emotional level. If it does not, you will probably fail in having the video be spread. So, understanding the emotions behind a dog owner, for example. And we've made several videos about a dog owner, actually one for an alarm company that, we actually created this whole story where this lady dropped her hair straightener and it fell on the floor and the house caught fire and the dog couldn't call the fire department, and the alarm company did it and saved the dog. That's going to strike a chord with any dog owner out there, and I hope they would buy an alarm system to potentially save their pet. So, stuff like that, connecting with the end audience makes a huge difference in whether or not something will pop or not.
Now, you bring up that you've got to have an emotional connection. Obviously, what are the emotional connect? Or maybe not obviously. Could it be a strong negative emotional connection? Or does it have to be love, compassion, or something along those lines?
It could be negative. In fact, actually, a lot of people will connect with a negative emotion. We have a video coming out within the next 2 months. It's actually a passion project of ours. I'm not going to tell you guys too much about it, but if you follow us on social, you'll definitely see it. It's based. I'll give you the premise. It's basically revolving around the holidays and the importance of connection with your family while they're still there, in relation to an old man whose wife has dementia. So it's something that we're passionate about. Zach's grandmother has Alzheimer's, so we're trying to make something that's really their story and connects with.
I'm already connected to it.
And then that connects with that, and everyone kind of knows someone who's been through that. So we're creating that powerful emotional connection, and I can probably guarantee it's going to make you cry in some way. We're pretty good at doing that.
I love that. That's another interesting concept. Is in business, so much of our marketing, so much of our advertising is about the features and the benefits and who we are and what the problem is. But so often we miss the powerful emotional connection. I literally had a client this morning, you can't make this up, called me up and he said, I'm getting ready to, I'm in New York and I'm getting ready to make a huge pitch to a huge company. I did a little bit of work and I basically want to be their person nationwide. So I said, okay, what's your outcome? He goes, well, I'm going to try to go in there and get their business. I said, first of all, don't go in there try to get it. Go in there to get it. There's a big difference between trying to do something and actually doing it, right? There is no try. But the thing that he said was, I don't want to talk about my company and how big we are and what we do and all that stuff. He goes, I want to connect with them. I want to tell them why I started the company. And I said, I don't even know that story. I said, you're a client of mine. And he goes, I started it because my dad wanted to start a company and he died before he was able to do it. I'm like, wow. I'm like, that's what you lead with. I mean, why is that even a question? And I think so often we sterilize the interactions with our clients to just the facts and the figures, and we don't personalize it, and we don't create that strong, powerful, emotional connection. So we're going to end up this podcast today. David, thank you very much. With a couple questions. One is, where are you missing the opportunity to connect strongly with your audience, with your employees, with your partner, with your clients? Create that strong emotional connection. And on the relationship side, have you fully established the roles? Think of a relationship that you haven't established that. Who's going to do what? How are we going to behave? What is your role? What is my role? And what do we need to do to increase our communication? So, David, thank you for those nuggets, those wisdom at 25. Man, I can't wait to have you back when you're 35, 45, and 55 and find out what you've learned along the way. You're a wise man. I really appreciate you being on the show today, and best of luck with the business.
Hey, thanks so much for having me. Excited to have this opportunity.
Thank you so much for listening today. I really do appreciate your time, and I hope you found today's show valuable. If you would like to receive these shows automatically to your phone or to your computer, simply go to iTunes and subscribe. After listening to several of the shows, if you're so inclined, please leave us a 5-star rating, as this helps us reach additional people and spread the message. If you're truly committed to taking your life to the next level and doing whatever it takes to become a peak performer, but something's holding you back, something is blocking your way, and you just can't seem to figure out what it is, send me an email to info@thorconklin.com, and I'd be more than happy to get on the phone with you. We'll schedule a 15-minute discovery call. No obligation, no cost. I absolutely love to hear from the listeners, and if there's something I can do to help, I'd be more than happy to do that. Also, if you found something of great interest in today's show and you want to share that with your friends and family, simply go to my Facebook page, Thor Conklin, click on the episode, hit the share button, and share it on your page. You can follow me at Twitter at Thor Conklin. The website is thorconklin.com. We're constantly adding new free resources, discussing additional tricks, tips, tools, and strategies on how to be a peak performer. Remember, I try to keep these episodes short so you can listen to them during dot time, doing other things, commuting, driving, walking, working out. Decide to be a peak performer in all that you do. And until tomorrow, have an absolutely amazing day.